Good morning, welcome to Look and See Outdoors. This morning I'm out looking at some black willow. Going to be collecting some today. And this is off of a little road where I drive my school bus on my route. So I've been seeing it and I'm gonna get some. Probably gonna get that limb right there. And we'll talk more about this. All right, got me a good supply of some black willow. We're going to be talking about that in this video. Getting some resources here for medicinal purposes and for growing purposes. So now I'm headed back to the house. Don't really want to be driving around talking on this camera. I don't know if that's a good idea. Isn't that distracted driving? So anyway, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. 60 degrees this morning. Clear and beautiful. So we'll talk more about this willow when we get on to where I'm going. Well, I made it back home. And before I get started with the willow, I've got to feed the chickens and the turkey. Been letting them out. Does them a lot better when they can get out and forage. But they're kind of goofy birds. Let's take a look at the flock. Got a mixture. We've got a variety of the silver laced Orpingtons, the Delawares. That hen there, the speckled one with the rusty color, and that one, it's real white. Those are, I think they're called the speckled Sussex, which has quickly become my favorite chicken. I learned about these chickens, the Sussex, not this past spring, but the spring before last. I managed to pick up a couple of biddies, chicks, at a local feed store that carries them in the springtime. Had 2 left, and these chickens, I'm sitting here trying to feed them, and they're following me as I'm feeding them instead of eating the feed that's already on the ground. They're goofy. Then they start fighting. But I got a couple of the chicks year before last, and those hens are great. They are a dual purpose bird. Lay tremendous amount of eggs. They're real hardy, and they are also a meat bird. So, but I enjoy them. They're pretty friendly too, for the most part. Let's wheel this camera around. Those dark ones there, those are black sex links. I had more of those. Let my son talk me into getting more chicks this year, and we had a dozen, I believe, but they started dying. It was weird, and I managed to keep, I think I had 6 of the speckleds and 6 of the black sex link. My favorite one is the white one. She is beautiful. I want to try to find me a rooster. Alright, so now that I've got them fed, let's get to the topic that I wanted to talk about in this video. The black willow. Oh look, a chicken. Look how pretty she is. She's not the one that's real speckledy, but she's got a lot of pretty color in her. She's so pretty. Hi. Alright, they're good chickens. It is such a beautiful day. I haven't done this in a while, but check out this beautiful bluebird sky. This weather is starting to transition into the cooler autumn. It's not quite there, but it's getting there. This morning, like I said earlier, it was 60 degrees. Fabulous, fabulous weather. Check out what I collected. This is black willow, and it has many uses. Willow is a native species of tree. I might stay up close to the house today. I wanted to go down to the shelter, but my youngest boy is in there asleep, and I don't want to wander too far. I have to go in there and check on him from time to time. He's only 5 months old. I don't even know if I've talked about him on any of my videos since he's been born. It's funny, I've been out about with him. He's our 5th child, and people think he's my grandson. That's pretty cool. So I have a grandson now, but he's not my grandson. I like how I had to store the willow. My wife just vacuumed that, so she's going to be happy with me. I'll get that cleaned out before she sees it. Or maybe I'll just leave it for her, see what she says. So, the willow. Many uses of the willow. What my plans are to do, I want to get some of this to propagate. And I'm going to plant some down along our little creek area. They grow real well in moist to wet sites. You'll actually see them growing out in swamps. Native Americans used them for centuries, and so did the early settlers. In the 19th century, the Salix, I believe, is the stuff that you get from it. Listen to me, it's called Salicin, S-A-L-I-C-I-N, and it was used to make aspirin. And from what I have been reading about it, it actually works better than aspirin. So it's best to use the inner bark, the cambium, and I'm going to cut some of that, dry it, and I'm going to make a kind of like a tea with it. Try it out. The leaves, you can seep them or just chew them. Also, the bark is used for basket weaving. I don't know if I have enough material. I have never weaved a basket. I have done some real minuscule weaving with pine needles on the longleaf pine. But I think I'm going to give a try to weave a basket this year. Just something else I want to try. Make my own containers. So let's get to this. Okay, so one of the pieces that I collected, one of the bigger pieces, I'm going to get the bark off of this. And I'm saying a lot today. I'm going to cut them in small sections. And it's easier to work with. So I'll get my knife and skin this, and then I'm going to fix it in pieces to where I can get it to dry. That won't happen today. I'm going to give it a few days for it to dry out, and then I'll use it to make that tea. We'll see how that works. I'm getting to where this bark usually just peels off fairly easy. I made a cut with my knife. Having some difficulty there. Darby gets excited, as you can tell, and he loses his mind. Oh, getting old. Getting on the ground is easy, but getting up is not as easy. So basically, I'm not going to sit here and bore everyone. Just trying to get a good piece off. This may be it right here. But if you can get it started good, normally what it'll do, it'll just peel on down. Let's see if we can get it to do it. It wants to kind of pull away from part of it. So I'm just going to work with this and we'll get this cleaned up. So I got my little bundle. I'm going to tie it up. I'm going to fix it where I can hang it and let it dry. Some 550 cord my son got into. This makes perfect twine for what I need. Got plenty now. Plenty. Do some more bundles. But this will work perfectly. And I was thinking about, I was wanting to take it down to the shelter. However, being that I'm not down there that often, the squirrels will rampage on that. Will ravage it. So that's going to be my medicinal mobile. Boom. My medicinal mobile. Da, 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 da. Cool. All right. So I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to give it plenty of time to dry. Come on, daughter. Go in the house. I'm not going to be in a rush there. Be some weeks, I'm sure. I'll probably do a video on that. Good material for a video right there. Now, I want to see about collecting some of these. Got to pick. This will be a good one. This is New Year growth. This is this year's growth. See, that's last year's older growth. And this is what grew this year. And this is what I want. And what I'm going to try to do is get some of this to propagate. So we'll see how that is here in a second. Alright, what do you want? What you want is the newer shoots, and where these little nodes, see these little nodes right here? This is where you'll get the growth from. That's popping up. These little spots right here, these are nodes. It's where your leaves pop out, your leaves pop out, and things of that nature on your plant. So I've got quite a bit of stock here. I can just get it to do right. This will not happen today, of course. This is going to take time. I'm going to put it in a bottle. And basically what I'll do, I'll just set it in a windowsill and leave it alone and watch for the roots to start producing as it propagates. So when you're cleaning these shoots off, you want to have, as you're pinching, you can just pinch this stuff off, but be careful as you pinch it. You don't want to injure the bark. You want to keep it as injury free as possible. Just pinch it, it comes right out. But all these areas here where these nodes are, that's where you'll get the growth. And I've got a small Coke bottle, and I'm gonna have them about that long. And I'll pull all the leaves off, and that's just energy. We're going into the dormant time of the year too, so usually it's best to do this kind of stuff in late winter, early spring, as the new growing season's coming on. But it's just simply clean everything up, and we should start seeing in time the roots popping out in these areas. All right, well, here's my cuttings. And I've got just this Coke bottle. I'll put water in it. And it's good just to put it in a place where it'll receive some sunlight and leave it be. That's the end product for now. See how those cuttings are down in the water? Light will get to it, air will get to it, and they should propagate. The willow is a native, but yet invasive native tree. It'll grow like crazy. You have to be careful with the weeping willow when you put it out in your landscape, because it seeks moisture. So if you're close to your sewer or your field lines, those roots will get into that and it'll cause a lot of problems. Still have a lot of material left, but I'm going to take a break. Got to go in there and check on my boy. So I'm going to end this video here. Time for a little bit of lunch. Hope you find this information useful. Like I said, there are multiple uses of the willow. This is the black willow. It grows in abundance in this area. It is Salix nigra is the Latin name for it. And it is a native species. Moist to very wet conditions. Like I said, you'll find it growing along creeks, in creeks, swamps, and marshes, and all over the place. This right here, earlier when I was filming, was in a little cul-de-sac on a road that I pick up and drop kids off of on my bus route. And I've been noticing these trees for a few years, and finally took the time to go and get some of the material to talk about it. And hopefully this video you will find good information. It's going to be interesting to do some videos later on when the bark gets dry and make a tea there and try it out and see how it works on the pains and the aches of this old body. Anyway, guys, y'all take care. Please feel free to leave a comment. Always hit that like button. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please follow along and subscribe and follow along, I should say. All right, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'll see you.